Raf, turn off your
Hello.
video.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
Thanks, Brian. Thanks, Raf. I'm gonna also mute you
I
guys.
kind of liked
so.
seeing Raf's face, not gonna lie.
Why, thank you, Ben.
Don't let him do that.
No, don't encourage Ralph. That's not good.
For anyone.
Sam, does it say we're live?
Yeah, we're live.
We're
So
live.
at about, we're still gonna have.
Yep, we're
people
live. Don't
streaming
worry.
in.
Okay.
At 8:05, we could get started.
Okay.
I messaged Amy. Can somebody tell Obi to put her last name in? That's sophomore class council Obi. Here, I'll just text her.
Sure.
I forgot I had the phone number.
Funny how that works.
Stop it. That was so mean.
I'm kidding.
Can you guys see that?
What
It's
happened?
very cute, Mehek. We love it.
Okay, there we go. There, now it's.
Does that say Happy Blue Day
Ooh,
Tuesday?
look at her.
Yes. I'm gonna let Kathy in because Kathy has a full name. Is that?
I did.
Oh, you beat me to it. Stop taking my power.
Just tell her to put her full name. Oops, I'd let Grace. Oops.
Amy hasn't answered my message, so that's rough, buddy. Talal, I'm gonna mute you. I know you're not talking, but just so it's fair.
Thanks, and then yeah. Oh,
I
Grace,
still
put
love
your
you.
last name in too.
You can't change names once you're in, but it's fine.
Yes, you can.
No, I
Can't
turned
you?
it up.
Oh, Sam has all the power. I forgot. And then Grace, don't forget to shut off your camera as well, unless you're talking. Alrighty then. Okay, I'm gonna shut off.
Sorry, guys. Myself.
Oh yeah, feel free to use the chats to talk, by the way. Feel free. Have fun. Be appropriate as well.
Mac, you're muted.
Okay, now I'm talking. Okay. Guys, welcome to our first SGA meeting. So before we get started, I'm just gonna kind of, go over what we're doing. So I know for a lot of senators, this is probably your first meeting, so you don't really know how it kind of works. But we use parliamentary procedure, which was developed in England, in their Senate or something. But the way we use it online is kind of we'll start with the agenda and the call to order, and we'll start with the reports, and I'll go through each person's report. It'll start with exec board reports, and so I'll call on each person and they can unmute themselves and turn on their video, and they'll tell us what they've been up to. And then I'll call on class council presidents, and that president will give a report and just let us know what they've been up to. And then we'll do caucus reports, so I'll just call out different names of different caucuses, and they'll give their report. And then if Calvin's still here, he'll give his report, and then we'll go into new business. And so the way that works is if it's already on the agenda, that's new business, so we'll go into it automatically. But the way we kind of vote or continue on with new business is after the introducer talks about whatever bill or whatever they're introducing to the agenda, someone is going to say like, can I motion, and this is only for senators, someone is going to say, can I motion for like a moderated caucus? And a moderated caucus is like having everyone like have allotted speaking time. So you could say, I motion for a moderated caucus of 5 minutes with 1 minute speaking times. So that means that whoever like motion for that I would recognize them, and then someone would say, I second that motion. And then I would say, now we're gonna like everyone in favor of moving into a moderate caucus, please say aye. And then everyone, like if you're a senator, you go to your like participants tab and you would click like the yes or the no like check mark or the X, and then Brianna will record like what our votes are, like whether or not we want to move into moderate caucus. So then we'll like talk, debate, whatever, and you can like motion to extend the moderate caucus, you can motion to like end it, but everyone, like someone will always need to second your thing, and I will always need to recognize that. And then when we move into like voting stuff, someone will say, I motion to move into voting procedure. And then someone will say, I second that motion. And then I'll be like, okay, I recognize your motion. And then we'll move into voting procedure. And if you want to like vote yes or no on the bill, then it'll be the same, like yes, check mark, no, X. And if you're abstaining, then you can go to participants tab, and there's like a little bar that says more, and you can just do like the like the little time looking symbol, it says away. You can do that if you're abstaining, and you can only vote if you're a senator. So if you're just like spectating, then like, I'm sorry, you guys can't vote. But we do have like a way for you guys to like, ask questions. So, or like talk if you want to, because only senators can like speak in SGA meetings until we get the public input. So if you're like a spectator and you like need clarification, you can ask in the chat. Or if you want to like discuss something on the floor and you can't say it, you can privately message Sam or Addie, they're on exec, and they can like bring up your point like during our meetings if you have like something really important to say about like a bill or something. And then if you're a spectator or like, a student, you want to ask questions or like talk or something, at the very end of our meetings, we have something called public input period. So that is the time when you guys can like talk. And the way we do that is through a speakers list. So you would go to like more, and you would like hit participants, and there's like a little clap button. So we're going to be using the clap button to like motion, like I want to speak, and I'll add you to the speakers list. And then when it's your like turn to speak, we'll give like 1 or 2 minutes or whatever. You guys, like I'll unmute you, you can talk for a minute, and then I'm going to mute you. And that's the same for like our new business, like for senators. If you want to speak like in the moderated caucus, hold on, Brianna said something. Oh, okay. Let me. Oh, okay. So what I'm trying to say is like, if you want to be added to the speakers list for like even our new business, like if you're a senator and we're like having a moderate caucus or a Q&A and you want to say something, or be added to the speakers list to talk, then you hit like, you go under more, you go to participants, and then in the participants tab, there's this little area that says more. You hit more, and there's like a little blue clapping emoji, and that will put you like on the very top of like my screen kind of. So that's how I'm going to keep track of the speakers list. And I'll like call on you, and then I'll unmute you, and then you can talk for however long it is, and then I'll mute you again. And that's the same we were doing for public input. And I think that's it. Oh, and also some guidelines, like use the chat as much as you can, but keep it kind of pertaining to what we're talking about. If you guys don't have like a chance to say something, you can ask in the chat, and nothing inappropriate or like rude, I guess. Yeah, just, use common sense. Okay, so I guess we're gonna call to order. So welcome to our first like official SGA meeting, guys. We're gonna start with executive board reports and SGA branch reports. So Sam, you're up first.
All right, cool. Wait for my video to turn on here. Yeah, so first I want to thank everybody again for coming. We have like a lot more people than we thought we would at this first meeting, so I'm definitely glad to see you all here. So generally the way these exec updates work, as Mahek said, is that we just give brief updates on what we've been doing since the last general body meeting. So yeah, that'll be what this is in terms of what I've been up to. So First and foremost, I have been redoing the judiciary process. For those who are unfamiliar, SGA has a judiciary that serve as the final body of appeal, both for issues pertaining to elections and issues pertaining to student organizations or anything else with SGA. So we currently have 4 vacant seats, so I've been working on that, and I will be working with Mahek, Will, who is the Internal Affairs Committee Chair, and the rest of the Internal Affairs Committee on getting that wrapped up by our next meeting on the 30th. I have been working with Calvin to get access to the website and the email. Thank you, Calvin, for helping out with that. And me and Brianna have been updating the website. We've sent out a few school-wide emails that you all got, so that's been pretty exciting. I've also been on the university-wide steering committee for fall planning. We've had a variety of meetings on things from planning for how libraries will reopen to how research reopens to a whole variety of other things. This week, we're having meetings about housing and dining, orientation. Just today, we had one about student activities. So that's been really exciting. And I also assigned Senator Talia Chowdhury to the Sustainability Leadership Committee. So that should be exciting as well.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, guys, I'm dumb. So we have to have a motion to start the meeting like officially. So if you're a senator and you want a motion that, you can speak up now.
Motion to start the meeting.
Can I get a second?
Seconded.
Okay, guys, now we're officially in meeting status. Thanks. Okay. So my report is gonna be next. Basically, we've just been like working with Sam to transition to the new exec board. We've planned meetings for you guys in the summer. We had our training. One thing I'm on is the housing and dining committee, student advisory committee. We had a meeting earlier today about how we're gonna work on the different phases if school is back in session, how housing and dining would look for that. Another thing is PRDC is currently in use, so if you do want to work on a resolution, you can definitely ask the PRDC. I think they were working for a project for Sam, but I think they're done with it now, so they're free over the summer. So if you guys have anything, you can send it to me. And that's kind of, oh, and another thing I've been working on is obviously committee nominations and confirmation. So we've made committees, chosen co-chairs, we hosted those meetings. So today we're just going to confirm everything that we've had in the past, committee meetings, I'm sure the senators know. Other than that, that's kind of it. Next we have Addie, you can go ahead.
Okay, can everyone hear me? Okay, so hi, I'm Addie, and I am currently on the Student Org subcommittee, which is planning for the fall, and it's surrounding, student orgs and how we can make sure that students have the best experience while still remaining, safe and healthy. And in terms of a budget, we still don't have a lot of information yet, so we're kind of waiting on that to see what it's going to be like. But orgs will be a little bit different this coming year, and I'm working on trying to figure out the best way to help groups kind of find each other to collaborate a little more, so that we're having, more of a student interaction and kind of an experience while still remaining, healthy and safe with COVID. And I'm also currently working on legislation to redo the way that budgets are. So usually orgs will submit a request for an annual budget, and I'm wanting to change that so that there's a request for this fall and then for the spring. So that way budgets can be more efficient, and actually, a group will request exactly what they need, and then we can look at what they used in the fall and then help to best make sure orgs are getting what they need for both semesters. So yeah, that's kind of what's going on.
Thanks, Addie. Next we have Brianna. Brianna, you can go ahead.
Okay, there we go. Sorry, it took me a little bit. My name is Brianna. I'm the Executive Secretary of Student Government. Recently, I've been working on the website, which is still in the process of being updated. I've also been working to update contact information on people. I am going to be confirming my CMC nominations tonight. So if anyone from the CMC is here, I made a very nice PowerPoint for y'all. It has your names and all those fun facts I asked. And then in addition, I've been working on outreach and information working on transition documents. I made a Kahoot for our last transition meeting, working with some of the incoming freshmen to answer questions. And then I'm also on the orientation, like working group or whatever that is. We haven't really met for that, but hopefully we'll figure that out more. I'm on the housing experience other subgroup thing. We also haven't met for that yet. And then I met with the head librarian at the Hopkins Libraries in Brody, and we're going to start this year to put all of SGA's records for the past couple of years into the library and make sure that all of our records are public information to help with transparency. In addition, you might notice that this meeting is being live streamed, which is another part of us working on transparency. Well, lastly, please open the agenda. That's what we're talking about today. I promise we have an order. I just sent it in the chat and I'm keeping notes on that in the bottom. Again, if you have any questions, please message preferably Sam or Addie, since Mehek is controlling the meeting and I am taking notes. That's all for me.
Thanks, Brianna. Okay, we're gonna move into class council reports. So sophomores. So Anthony.
Hey guys, we had a meeting today, catching up, making sure everyone's good and that everyone's in their committees and everything's going well. But besides that, don't have anything to report. Thanks.
Thanks, Anthony. Next we have juniors. So Nathan.
It says I am unable to start video because the host has stopped it. But oh, here we go.
I fixed it.
Thank you. So yeah, hi guys. Yeah, nothing much else to report here. I sent email out kind of transitioning things over, sending out contact information of our new amazing class council. Just for people to be aware, 2 working groups I'm on right now. So the student life working group for COVID, if people have any questions about that, a couple other people on here are also on it. And I also found out I am still on the Homewood Council for Inclusive Excellence for a couple more months. We're having an emergency meeting just to kind of discuss some of the latest developments in the world right now and how we can best be supporting all students at Hopkins, especially our Black community. So if you have any questions that particularly pertain to that, I've got a meeting about that next week. So yeah, please feel free to hit me up, let me know.
Thanks, Nathan. And we have a meeting, or next up is seniors. Is anyone from the senior council here that would like to speak if your president isn't available?
Isn't he here? I think.
Is he?
Will.
Is it William?
Is it William?
Is it William?
William, no last name.
Yes,
but I think.
Oh my God! Did anybody hear me?
Oh wait,
anybody hear
now
me?
you're unmuted.
Oh, yeah.
I'm so sorry. Okay. Okay, I literally said the whole thing. I'm so sorry. Yeah, so what I meant to say, senior class council has not met yet. I've personally been struggling with some responsibilities at home. That's due to just what's going on right now in the world. And with my family life, senior class council will meet between now and our next GBM at the end of June, just so that we can hit the ground running. And I guess I should be in contact with Calvin in order to get access to our budget and email once all that is running. Do apologize for not having else to say, but senior class council will meet before the 30th. Thank you.
Thanks, Will. Just one thing I forgot to add. Me and Sam had a meeting with Dean Smita on like improving facilities at Hopkins in like terms of like racism and like with everything going on right now. And I think we have another meeting with her like in like a week or something. So if anyone wants to like tell us about things that they've seen on campus or like ways that we can improve like experience for like Black and brown people on campus, then like please message us and we can take that to our meeting with her. Next we have caucus reports. So we have the Black Caucus, the Women and Gender Minorities Caucus, and the Latinx Caucus. We can start with the Black Caucus.
Hey everyone. So last year I was the vice chair of the Black Caucus, and the actual chair left. So I believe now I'm the interim chair until we elect someone else.
at the beginning of the school year. But yeah, so because of that situation and just because we have like a bunch of new senators, we haven't met yet, obviously. However, in regards to the SGA statement that we put out regarding what's been going on now in the Black community, which is obviously hurting, I was able to reach out to a bunch of Black student groups on campus and then get their comments and input for that statement just to make sure that there was nothing, insensitive and that it said everything it needed to. And I think that came out really well. And then moving forward from that, I wanted to draft a resolution on private police, like using the Black Caucus to sort of just do that together. But as you know, the Hopkins just came out with the statement that they're pushing that for 2 years. So right now I'm just taking time to reevaluate, see what people kind of want. And yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing the person from the JHUPD, was it Teachers Against JHUPD that was gonna come to a meeting? Faculty. Yeah, and just see really what people want now that it's been pushed ahead 2 years. So yeah, if you're interested in advocating for Black students at Hopkins, feel free to join the Slack that I created. Everyone's welcome to join. And yeah.
Thanks a lot. Next we have the Latinx caucus. So I think that's Brianna.
Yep, that's me. So this caucus actually got voted into existence like right before spring break. So I reached out to a couple of orgs, and I believe Elkis, who is an old senator, was my co-chair. However, we didn't really do anything because of COVID, and we're gonna have to have elections for a new co-chair since I'm now on exec board. If anyone's interested in advocating for this, we're planning to work with Ole and like the Brazilian Student Association and all the other groups on campus to hopefully host some sort of a Zoom event so everybody knows like what's going on with other organizations. I have the bill if anybody wants to look at it, just private message me and I can send it to you. That's all for me.
Thanks, Brianna. Next we have the Women and Gender Minorities Caucus. I know Chanel Lee was president, I think, of this.
Yes, love.
Hi. Oh,
Yeah.
sorry. Oh, can I talk? Okay.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I was recently elected the SGA liaison for WGMC. So I'll be providing updates on our activities, and I can bring back news to the caucus as well. Katie Lee, who was on SGA last year, she was elected our chair for this upcoming year. But we currently don't have a vice chair, and we haven't elected new committee chairs. I don't think we're doing anything big right now, but I know some committees are doing stuff. Like one of our committees is putting together resources for survivors on campus. But yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay. Thank you. Next we have advisor report. So Calvin, you can go ahead. Calvin, are you here?
I think he was talking to his wife.
I'm coming. Here I am.
Oh.
Okay. Sorry. Can y'all hear me?
Yes.
Oh, great. Hi, everybody. Happy summer. Yay. I'm happy to be here with you. So, couple of things. With Addie and Nathan, and I believe Isaac, who was formerly a member, and chairing the one of the chairs of the subcommittees for the Student Life Experience Committee. So my particular subcommittee is working on a student organization experience and a co-curricular experience. So if there are questions about that, please do not feel any hesitancy in reaching out to me. Good news, we will be officially moving from Hopkins groups to campus groups going into next academic year. That was finalized yesterday. I'm sorry, from campus labs. We're going to continue to call it Hopkins groups, but we will be changing platforms going into next year. So you get more information about that soon. And then third, there will be 2 forums or town halls or whatever you want to call it for students who are leaders in student organizations. One will be on June 26th at 10, and one will be on July 31st at 10 a.m., where we will be going over all of the things that will be impacting student organizations with regard to this upcoming semester. So you'll be getting more information and communication about that in the next week. And, you know, follow-up communications just as reminders. But those are the three things that I wanted to update you all on.
Oh, thanks, Calvin. So up next, we're just gonna move into new business. So we're gonna start with the first bill on the agenda, which is the rules bill. And it's gonna be presented by Executive President Mullen. So Sam, you can go ahead and like talk about it for 5 minutes, and I'll screen share my screen so you guys can all see it. So you can go ahead.
Cool, thanks. Yeah, so for those of you who aren't in SGA and for those of you who are new to SGA, one thing we do every year just to make sure that we have rules that we're operating under is we pass a rules bill. And rules bill, generally large parts of it stay the same from year to year, just to keep consistency, but there are a few differences that are highlighted in yellow. So if you just go, can you scroll up a tiny bit? Thanks. Yeah. So you see section 1 title definitions, that's standard. Could you go to section 4?
Yes.
Cool. Thanks. Yeah. So special meeting rules, most of it is the same. We have altered the automatic and pending presence on the agenda part to make the deadline a little more flexible with adding things to the agenda to be 11:59 p.m. EST, just to make it a little more accessible. We've also clarified the ability to add new items past the deadline. If the agenda doesn't have a lot on it, new items can be added as automatic business up to Tuesday, 7 p.m. If the vice president determines that the material to be added is necessary. So technology, we added a clause to mention that it applies to in-person meetings only because, as you know, we're going to be in different circumstances. The phone part, originally, we just clarified what would be done with the electronic devices because that was a little vague in terms of how long it would last. So we just clarified to make it so that I will be taking your phones or any electronics that are being used inappropriately in meetings if you're doing that. So once we're back in person, do not do that. And the next part. Yeah, so the email and social media, these are some new segments that we added just to make sure that we have a little bit more transparency. So we added that the exec board will forward all of the committee specific and class specific emails received at the SGA email address to the respective class council email or committee chair to make sure that the emails are going to the right person to answer. In addition, we added a new clause about social media to make sure that our Facebook page and that also our Instagram, but we specify Facebook will be updated regularly. So we're getting as much information to all of you as possible. In terms of absences, it's more or less the same. In terms of that, we have the committee, we have all of the spreadsheets. The committee and class council absences will be added to rules bill shortly. That's more or less standard stuff. Conflicts of interest, completely the same. We'll be in touch about that soon. It doesn't have to be completed until 4 weeks into the fall academic semester, and we're not going to be having many of these over the summers, so it'll be dealt with then. In terms of that, you can see the regular meetings with the exec board and the exec board and class presidents and committee chairs, just to make sure we're staying in touch. We added beginning of the academic year because generally we don't have meetings this early, so we felt it needed to be added. You can see the keyword. Congratulations to, dang, who was it? Matt, who was it?
Julia Zhang.
Congratulations to Julia Zhang for winning. She is the first person to have noticed that clause in the rules bill, which means she was probably the first person to read it. So big ups for that, even though I'm sure everybody read it. And then the next part, this is the most significant new addition because as you all know, we are in pretty different circumstances now. A lot of our meetings will be on Zoom. We don't know how long our meetings will be on Zoom for. So we wanted to make sure that we had some rules because as many of you know in the past, we have had issues both with some of our SGA events with people trolling in chat and making people feel unsafe, and then just general conduct issues in the chat with meetings last year. So we really wanted to make sure that we have rules in place to provide a safe and accommodating environment to everybody who wants to attend our events on Zoom, whether those are these general body meetings or whether they're other events. So things like making sure your video is turned off, making sure that you're using full name is to ensure that we have everybody behaving respectfully and no one's hiding behind the shield of anonymous, oh God, you know what I mean, the shield of anonymousness to harass people because we think that's wrong. And we think that it makes our meetings less effective. So if you scroll down a little bit, the last part is just severance. It's more or less standard. There's a lot of specifics in here. You all read it in advance, so I won't go over it. And if anything's unconstitutional, then it is no longer into effect. So yeah, I'm excited to see what everyone thinks.
Thanks, Sam. Okay, so now we would have to motion for something. So you guys can motion for a moderate caucus, a Q&A, anything. But I think Brianna wants to say something really quick. Brianna, you can go ahead. Okay, I guess Brianna doesn't want to say anything. But yeah, so we would.
I do. Sorry, I lagged.
Okay.
I just really quickly wanted to shout out, we had an incoming freshman who private messaged me. His name is Mark, and he was like, I found the secret word, and he was very excited about it. I don't know if he made it to this meeting, but I just want to congratulate him for not even being an SGA and reading through the entire bill. So good job, Mark.
All right, thanks. Okay, so now if you're a senator, you can like motion like anything. So speak up.
Motion to vote.
Motion to vote. Okay, can I get a second on that motion?
Seconded.
Awesome. So now we're gonna move into voting procedure. So all in favor of, you know, like the bill passing, you would go to your participants tab and hit the yes. And if you're not in favor, you would go and hit the no. And if you're gonna abstain, you would go to more and hit the like away symbol, which is like the time. And please only vote if you're a senator because it makes it easier to just like go through the votes and for Brianna to count.
A point of order,
Yes.
or I'm not sure if it's a point of order, but is this a vote to vote or a vote on the bill?
It's a vote to move into voting procedure.
Okay, all right.
Sorry, I should have clarified that. I think I unclarified it. Yes, so this is a vote to move into voting procedure. Yeah, and then we're gonna vote on the bill after this.
Give me 2 seconds to make sure everyone's voted. Obi, can you vote? Otherwise, I'll mark you as abstaining, which is no big deal. I believe that everybody has voted except Obi, and we good. All right, we can move into voting procedure.
Okay, guys, so now we're in voting procedure. So if you want this bill to pass, now you would hit your yes button again, or you would hit the no button, or you would abstain. Is everyone good with their votes?
Yeah, I'm just making sure we don't have any abstentions real quick. Also, reminder, if you have to leave the meeting early or if you are like have something vital to say, please PM me because I'm keeping light attendance for this. Obi, can you vote? Otherwise, be good.
Okay, I think the bill passes unanimously. Yay, if I had a little gavel, there we go, I would hit it. Okay, so thank you guys. So our first bill on the floor has passed. Next up, we're gonna do committee confirmations. So I guess that's me, so I'll set a little timer. So we, you know, like put people in committees, and then we had elections for like what the committee chairs are and who they are. So if you can just click the link, it'll take you to like a little slideshow. And here you go. Okay, so here's the, oh, sorry, I'm having some technical issues. Here's the, oh, oops, okay. Here's a slideshow. So there we go. So for student orgs, our members are Nathan, Karen, Ananya, Julia, Megan, Cece, China, and Hanur. And our co-chairs are Ananya and Megan. So congrats, guys. For finance, our members are Karen, Obi, Veda, and Julia, and our chair is Karen. For student services, our members are Anthony, Mariano, Grace, Obi, and Angela, and our chair is Anthony. For health, safety, and sustainability, our members are Megan, Angela, JJ, China, Talia, and Suba, and our co-chairs are JJ and Megan. And for internal affairs, our members are Talal, Will, Mariano, Nathan, Eric, and Mahnur, and our chair as well. And for academic affairs, our members are Cece, Talal, Suba, Veda, Ananya, and JJ, and our co-chairs are Veda and Cece. And for civic engagement, our members are Nathan, Kadai, Will, Grace, Talia, and Eric, and our co-chairs are Grace and Kadai. So congrats, guys. So this was done like per the bylaws, like plurality vote. So yeah. So basically now we just need the Senate to confirm this. So if you guys want to like motion for anything, you guys can motion and move into voting procedure. You guys can motion for like anything else.
Motion to vote.
All right, could I guess?
Second.
All right, thank you, JJ. Okay, so now we're gonna vote on going into voting procedure. So if you want to go into voting procedure, hit the yes check mark button, and if you don't, then hit the no X button.
Counting in like 3 seconds. Anthony, your last name is plural, by the way. I don't know if you noticed that.
It just adds to the effect.
I love you, Anthony.
Mariano, please vote. I will call you out. All votes are in.
All right, so it looks like we're gonna go into voting procedure. So now if you're in favor of confirming everything, just hit the check mark. And yeah, and reminder, exec board cannot vote, so yeah. Halal, I think you need a vote still.
Thank you.
All right, it looks like it passed unanimously. So now we're
That was nice.
That was okay. So up next, normally we have like committee reports at the very beginning of the meeting with like all the other reports, but since we didn't confirm until right now, I just left them for later on. So we're gonna have committee reports now. So we're gonna start with academic affairs. So that's Veda and I just forgot. It's Veda. And yes, Veda and CC. Sorry.
Hi, everyone. So not too much to report this week. So a couple weeks ago, we sent a letter out for the KSS Dean Search Committee, and we highlighted a couple special things like improved collaboration across JHU schools, strengthening faculty in undergrad education, and increasing academic cohesiveness. We also worked with Sam and Mahek to choose 8 people for our curriculum committees, representing both KSS and WSC, and we should be meeting with them Thursday, I believe. And then we also met with Rob Scala, an undergrad student, with the student advisory committee to work out on some like student surveys and achieve like a broader consensus of what's needed for academic support programs in the fall.
Thanks, Veda.
I
ahead, Cece.
The second part of the report. Hi guys, my name is Cece. I'm a senior class senator and I'm also one of the co-chairs. A couple of things that are currently in progress right now. We started a dialogue with Dr. Charlene Agramaso. She's the director of study consulting, and she basically asked us to come up with better ways to market academic support programs to collaborate with SGA. So hopefully we'll get an email for the Academic Affairs Committee set up soon. So you guys can start reaching out to us through that. A group of us from SGA are also meeting this Thursday with the Undergraduate Academic Planning Committee for fall curriculum planning. So that'll be this Thursday, and we'll give you guys updates on what happens there. And last but not least, we're looking for ways to expand collaboration with academic support in general, with Pilot and Learning Zen. So hopefully we'll reach out to the directors very soon, like we've done with Dr. Argamasu, and we'll think about new ways to get people integrated over the summer.
Thank you, Cece. Next, we have civic engagement. So that's Kadai and Grace, right?
Hi. So yeah, I'm one of the co-chairs for civic engagement. We're looking into meeting sometime during summer. We haven't yet met yet. And yeah, we're really looking forward to planning out the next year.
Awesome. Kadai, do you want to say anything?
Hi. I also have nothing to add, and I'm very excited to be working with everyone on the civic engagement committee.
All right, thank you. Next, we have finance. So that's Karen.
Hi everyone. We haven't really met because there's not really much to do right now, but I'm glad to be working with you guys.
Thanks, Karen. Next, we have HSS. So that's Megan and JJ.
Hi guys, I'm Megan.
And I'm JJ. I'm wearing blue because it's Blue Jay Tuesday, which is something I just learned. So we had 2 meetings for the whole HSS body and 1 co-chair meeting just between Megan and me. Yeah, Blue Jay Tuesday. So basically a summary of what we talked about. Megan and I are elected co-chairs in the first meeting, and then we had a co-chair meeting between the 2 of us, and we just set up a tentative summer meeting schedule, which we decided we would take informal attendance because of everything going on and people are all over and the time difference, and sometimes you just cannot make it to the meetings. And also we discussed some tentative potential initiatives for both over the summer and for the upcoming semester. We talked about having a dining hall food waste initiative just to show how much food is wasted for over the period of 1 day. And then we had this new norm water bottle project. So we recycle the plastic water bottles and then make them into reusable water bottles. That will be in collaboration with some other organizations, but that's all tentative. And also we had the idea of having an app and point system to host some sort of sustainability contest, but that will be a long-term goal. And we will contact the Green Hack organization to talk about the potential of doing that at the end of summer. And also, as mentioned before by Sam, we have Talia on the Sustainability Council, and I will be there as well because we applied separately.
So quickly adding on some of our complete things is that a couple of our HSS members, including Talia, Sue, and myself, have joined the sit-in group just to better understand the mission and especially pertaining to private policing.
Thank you, Megan. Next, we have internal affairs, and that's Wilcho.
Hey guys, so right now internal affairs is being focused on confirming 4 new judiciary members. That was kind of a that process just basically being redone. Sam has done an excellent job of initially interviewing the 10 or so, or maybe there were 20. There were a bunch of candidates that Sam interviewed, and he's given us the notes. So now that we're confirmed, internal affairs just needs to convene to deliberate over the nominees with the help of Sam, and then by our meeting on the 30th, we will be appointing the top 4. And of course, there will also be interviews be occurring next week as well, when necessary. So that's it for internal affairs. Thank you.
Yeah, Thanks, Will. Next we have student org, so that's Megan and Ananya.
Hello, I'm Megan. Me and Ananya were just elected co-chairs of student orgs, and that's Ananya. So yeah, that was this past Sunday. Me and Ananya are meeting tomorrow at 1 to talk about our missions and goals, and then we're gonna regroup with the committee. So yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Okay, thank you guys. Next we have student services, and that's Anthony Singleton.
Hey, so we have yet to meet. I think the plan right now is to wait until some of the plans for this upcoming fall are more finalized, and we'll get together to discuss mostly having some student forums in regards to student organizations and other topics, and then also getting our social media and everything up and running. So thanks.
Thanks, Anthony. All right, so now that we're done with reports, we're gonna move on to CMC confirmation. So Brianna, you have 5 minutes to introduce your candidates or your PowerPoint, and I can pull it up on my screen.
Oh, please pull it up. So underneath the Office of the Executive Secretary, we have a group called the Communications and Marketing Commission, not committee, also known as CMC. So I've spent around the last month sending the applications if there's any issues. So we're just going to go through this little PowerPoint here. For some reason, I can't see it, but that's
Brianna, your voice is kind of cutting out.
wonderful. I'm just going to shut off my camera and hope that works. So I can't actually see the PowerPoint for some reason, so I'm going to follow along on my screen. I'm not exactly sure which CMC people are here today, but
slide, by the way.
Thank you. So basically I wrote out a document for what this does if anyone wants to see it. Yes, I made it very aesthetic. It's rainbow. If anybody wants to see what the CMC actually does officially, as it's written down, I can give them the document. Yes, happy Pride, everyone, as well. But basically, it helps out with SGA's image. It's going to help with marketing. It's going to help with advertising. It's going to help with basically anything you could possibly think of, image-wise. That's what it's for. So the people I picked for it are a mix of incoming freshmen, sophomores, and then I think we have one junior. We actually didn't have any seniors apply, so that sucks, but you know what? We did the best that we can. The first one we have is Alexa Furman. Her major is public health, minor is in entrepreneurship, and I did fun facts during the interviews, by the way, so some of these are kind of weird, but she really likes mangoes. She told me how to eat a mango correctly, which I did for the first time a couple days ago. It was pretty nice. Her experience was well used. And then we have the next one, who is actually building an app for Corona with a couple of his friends. And he's the class of 2023. And then we have one of our two Amy's, who is also 2023. She's a fan of ASMR. It helps her sleep. And then the next Amy is majoring in IS, also 2023, also majoring in econ. She dreams a lot and keeps a detailed dream journal. And then we're getting into our first of the incoming freshmen. We have 3 incoming freshmen on this commission. So first we have Rachel. She's hoping to major in IS and environmental science. She went to a school dedicated to ancient Greek and Latin, which I thought was pretty interesting. And then we have Maggie. She's also an incoming freshman, majoring in MolCell, and she's lived in 6 cities over her entire life. And then lastly, we have Clarissa. So Clarissa is a comp sci major, minoring in cog sci, and she really, really loves coffee. We had a very detailed discussion about that intercession class. That was the science of coffee. So these 7 people, I'm going to meet with them if they do get confirmed over the next week or 2, waiting on the results of this meeting. But basically, we're going to have a meeting and we're going to assign positions. There's 8 positions within CMC. Disregarding my position, which is the chair, there's only 7. So they're going to pick, and then I'm going to appoint people. I'll keep you all updated on that, but we're just going to go ahead and vote on the confirmations, I believe, now. If anybody has any questions, please PM me. I will.
All right. Thanks, Brianna. So next up, basically anyone can motion for anything, motion for Q&A, motion for like a moderate caucus, or motion to go into voting procedure. So up to the senators.
Motion to Q&A.
Motion for Q&A. Could I get a second for that motion?
Second.
Second. All right, thank you. So now we're gonna vote on moving into Q&A. So if you guys can hit like the yes or the no button, it'll make us go into Q&A. Brianna, did everyone vote?
I'm loading at the moment.
Okay.
Give me a second. So far, it looks like everybody has. Will did have to run, so I'll account for his absence in the meeting notes. Kate, are you still here? There we go. It looks like that's everyone. Yep.
Oh, okay.
Unanimous.
By the way, when you motion for Q&A, you can like say for like how many minutes like do you want your Q&A to be? So JJ, you motioned it. So how many minutes did you want it to be? Like, do you want to do like 5?
Yeah, sure, 5. Sorry, it's new.
Oh no, that's okay. We're all learning. Okay, so now we're in a 5-minute Q&A, and since JJ is the one who motioned it, you're up first. And if anyone else wants to ask a question, go to the more section on your participants and hit the club button, and I'll add you to the speakers list. So JJ, go ahead.
Just kind of a general question. So we know the schedule for the next meeting, but will we have more during the summer? Or is it just like that's it and then we'll start again once the school year actually starts?
I think we only have one more meeting planned for the summer, which is June 30th. And then they'll have meetings when the school year starts, but you guys might have committee meetings over the summer. Thanks, JJ. Does anyone else have any other questions relating to the CMC confirmations? If not, then someone can motion to end the Q&A.
Motion to end.
Oh wait, I had a question. Sorry.
Oh, sorry.
I just clapped, but I don't know if that was the right thing.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know if you could, Brianna, could you go into a little bit of detail about I guess the selection or how you chose these people out of all the applicants?
Yeah, of course. So Sam actually attached the CMC application in that ginormous email he sent out a while ago. So we had 12 applications from that, a mix of incoming freshmen. It might have been 13. So I went through all of the applications and I emailed everyone saying that I received their application and asked to schedule a one-on-one interview with them. I had one person who did not respond to any of my 13 emails, so I just kind of took them off the list because I didn't want to be annoying at that point. With everyone else, I scheduled the one-on-one interview where I talked about, here, I actually have a document where I reviewed this, so I'll tell you the exact questions I asked. So I asked for their name, their year, their major, any prior experience they had, and they had also included their prior experience on the application that they filled out, and then why they wanted to join SGA or join the CMC. And then I asked other extracurriculars they had. That wasn't bearing on the application. I was just curious to see what type of people we were having apply and seeing if I could help people with student org stuff. And then I asked for a fun fact, and then I asked if they had any other questions. So after we finished the actual review process, I screen shared the document that I had, which is a 4-page document that I can send to y'all. That is basically the constitution of the CMC. So the CMC actually hasn't really been active for the past 2 years, so I couldn't find any information on it besides the general number of people that there were supposed to be. So I wrote out that document as just kind of a guiding doc. I shared it with them, saw if they had any questions, and then after our meeting, I went through their prior experience and saw who would best benefit our team. And I tried to get a good mix of the incoming students, current students, and the one sophomore. So I think we had one junior apply, maybe 4 or 5 rising sophomores, and then 4 or 5 incoming freshmen. So it wasn't terribly balanced, but I tried to do the best that I could. And experience-wise, I tried to take people who had more experience or who had a very good reason for wanting to join. There was a couple people who didn't actually know what they were applying for. So when I talked to them, they just seemed not really interested and not dedicated to the cause. And one person actually said some very not nice things about SGA, which that wasn't a great meeting. But for everyone else, I can share the document where I have the applications if you're interested.
Thanks.
Thank you, Brianna. I guess Megan also has a question. Megan, you can go ahead.
Hi, Brianna, I just have a quick question. So in the future, when SGA wants to employ the services of CMC, would we just send them a quick email, or how would that work?
So that's what we're going to be figuring out over the next 1 or 2 weeks. Since this hasn't been instituted, I couldn't find anything in the records about it. So I think what we're going to do is we're either going to have a Google form that's going to be in the Google Drive, which is basically going to say what your name is, what your position is in SGA, who you want. So I'll go over the positions that we have, who you want and what do you want them for. And then either me or the co-chair will go through and we'll assign someone hopefully within 2 days to that. The only stipulation I think we're going to have is that all applications have to be filled out within 4 to 7 days, minimum 4 days before the event. So because nobody knows what CMC is, I can screen share the Constitution if that's all right with you, Mahek.
You can go ahead. I think you have the power to do that.
I have all the power.
Yeah. Also, I think the Q&A is going to expire in like 6 seconds.
So if somebody wants to motion to extend the Q&A, feel free.
Motion to extend Q&A by 5 minutes.
All right. Could I get a second on that motion?
Second.
All right. So now the Q&A is now. Oh wait, we have to vote. So if anyone wants to extend the Q&A by 5 minutes, just go hit the yes check mark thing, and if you don't, then hit the no. If you're abstaining, do the little clock looking thing.
All right. Angela, please vote. Cece, please vote. This is so annoying having to scroll through all the names. I'm sorry, y'all. Thank you, Karen. I think Mariano left or was about to leave. I got a PM about that.
Kid, I also.
All right. Yeah, JJ, please vote. Yep. All right. I think everybody voted yes. And I'm frozen again, but it's fine.
All right, so we're extending it by 5 minutes. So Brianna, you can share your screen, and then Ananya will go because I think she has a question.
Cool. So this is a document I made. Again, this isn't an official document. I just made it because I wanted to have some idea of what I was doing. So I can also share this. It's in the Google Drive for any of the senators. But I have the application process for next year. I'll leave that up if we have any other questions. So feel free to read that. Basically, it's everything that I said. With co-chairs, the only thing that, oh, I'm frozen again. Goodness sakes.
Yeah, Brianna, we're only seeing my screen.
That's exciting. I'm going to share it with you, Mahek, so you can put it up.
Okay.
Give me 2 seconds. Actually, I'm just going to share it with everyone. That would be a lot easier.
Yeah, you can send it in the chat so
yep.
everyone can look at it.
There you go, everybody. Again, this is not official. We don't have any official documents for this, but that's all from me.
Awesome. I think Ananya had a question, and then Anthony.
Alrighty.
My question was just going to be what the different positions were, but this now has that in the document. So
yeah, so I'll just cover it super quick. We have 4 branches. Basically, we have a management branch, an advertising branch, a networking branch, and an image branch. So the management branch has me as the chair because according to the Constitution and bylaws, I'm the automatic chair of CMC. And then I'm going to elect a co-chair who's going to help me with those responsibilities. Under the advertising branch, we have the graphic designer who designs graphics. And then we have the marketing head who helps with the graphic designer, but they also help with filling out forms such as getting things on the Orca TVs and getting things on the banner and the breezeway, that kind of stuff. Under the networking branch, we have the social media manager and the webmaster. Webmaster will help me update the website. Social media manager will help me update the Instagram and the Facebook. They can also help other committees or class councils with their parts of the website or with their social media. And then lastly, we have the image branch, which is the photographer and the cinematographer. They do what a photographer and a cinematographer does. And they're also either going to have their own equipment or rent it from the DMC. I have an attendance policy, a misconduct, and a removal policy as well that I can review.
All right. I think next we have Anthony. Anthony, you can go ahead.
Yeah, I just want to say, first off, Brianna, good job and like awesome on you upon yourself to write this. But my question is like, is there any way that this can be confirmed by the Senate so that this is like an official like document, or like how is that going to work if somebody wants to make a change to what you wrote like in the future?
Yeah, so I'm hoping to actually propose this on our June 30th meeting. I wanted to like get actual CMC people in so I could get their input on it since they're going to be working with me. And I will be putting in an amendment process later on. And then hopefully this will become kind of like how the Hispanic and Latinx Caucus has a bill or a constitution. This will be the same thing that we can use for the next couple of years.
Awesome.
Also, thank you.
All right, thank you guys. If anyone has any other questions, they can like raise their hand now, or you guys can like motion to go into voting procedure because we have like 20 seconds left of the Q&A.
Motion to vote?
Yeah, so you can motion to go into voting procedure now.
Yeah.
Okay, could I get a second?
Seconded.
All right. So now what we do is we would vote to go into voting procedure. So if you want to go into voting procedure, hit the check mark yes. If you don't, hit the X for no. And then if you're abstaining, the clock thing, as usual.
I'm going to give everybody around 5-10 more seconds to do that. I'm going to start from the bottom this time. All right, Talal, you gave me a thumbs up, which is interesting. I'm going to pretend that that's a check mark. It works just as well. Alrighty. Nathan, please vote.
And then, yeah, could you also vote? We want to vote to go into voting procedure to vote on the CMC confirmation. Awesome.
I think that's everyone.
All right, so now we're in voting procedure. If you want to confirm everyone on the CMC, then hit the check mark yes. Or give me a thumbs up, I guess.
Alrighty, it looks like nobody has any abstentions. It looks like we have no no's. I believe that it passes unanimously.
All right, congrats everyone on the CMC. You're not confirmed. So up next, well, actually that's all of our new business. So now moving into prospective business. So one thing, the first thing we're going to talk about is advancing legislation, which next week, or not next week, next meeting, I think we're going to have the Faculty Against Private Police come and talk to us about like what are their next steps and just like about private police. And then we're going to vote on whether or not we should sign the petition to stop the private police, even though it has been postponed for the next 2 years. So that's one thing. And so if anyone else wants to talk about any advancing legislation or any announcements that they have, this is still senators. You guys can like raise your hand and just like go ahead.
I have something to say if nobody else does.
You can go ahead, Brianna. Oh, Brianna, you can go ahead. I don't think anyone else has anything else to say. Okay. Brianna, if you have anything to say, you can type it out in the chat and I can like read it for you because you're frozen.
I think I'm unfrozen. Man, this rural Maryland Wi-Fi is great. So for senators, I am still working on that safe zone training. I forgot to mention that earlier. So I met with the safe zone coordinator and she said that the only way we could do it is either we do a 8 a.m. 3-hour-long safe zone training, which I know I personally can't do because I have work, or we can do an 8 p.m. hour-long one, which is just going to be a basic overview. In addition, I hope that everybody's had a chance to read through the bylaws, because in the bylaws, it states that we all need a couple other trainings that I'm going to work on getting, hopefully before this academic year, but we have until about a month after the incoming freshmen are elected. So yeah, I'm working on Safe Zone and working on the other ones.
All right, thanks, Brianna. All right, I don't think anyone else has any advancing legislation or announcements to make right now, so we're gonna move into public input period. So if you're from the public and you wanna say something, or just have any input at all, you can like raise your hands, do a little clap emoji, and then you guys can go ahead and we'll give you like 45 seconds. So I'll just, hold on, Daisy. Okay, Raphael?
Yeah.
Yeah, you can go ahead.
I just wanted to say thank you for like opening up like this meeting and giving all this information. It's really helpful in terms of like understanding how SGA functions.
Oh, you're welcome. All right, thank you, Raphael. And next I think we have Susanna Lee. You can go ahead.
Oh, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Hi. So, yeah, I just wanted to thank you again for opening this up to the public. And I had like 2 questions. I was wondering if there were any other openings for other committees, and then also when the elections will be held for incoming freshmen.
So some of our committees can have non-voting members on it. I think the only ones that can't are student orgs and internal affairs. Yeah, so our other committees, if you guys are interested, like you can join on as like a non-voting member. I think that would be in the fall though, so we could like set up like when they have meetings. And for elections, right now we're unsure whether or not like we're going to be definitely on campus or not on campus. So if we're not on campus, most likely this CSE, which is like the Council on Student Elections, will probably have like an online election like they did for the senators this past year. And then if we're on campus, I think we'll just have like a normal on campus / online election. And normally they happen like around like 2-3 weeks after like the first day like on campus. So like I think we get back August 29th or something. So I think we would have like elections somewhere in like middle or late September. Yeah.
Also, we do have a like a very, very unofficial chat for the incoming freshmen. I'm going to send the link. Oh, let me let her in. I'm going to send the link in the group. It has a bunch of incoming freshmen where we answer some questions, again, unofficially, and then a couple members of executive board. We can also put you in contact with whoever you need and direct you to resources. We have like a SGA handbook and some stuff on parliamentary procedure and that kind of stuff. So yeah, if you have any questions, feel free to private message me about that.
Thanks, Susanna. All right. Anyone else? Okay. I don't think there's anyone else that has like any questions or anything. So that's kind of it. All right. Thanks, guys, for coming to our meeting, and to all the senators, we'll see you again on June 30th. Bye.
Thanks for coming.
Thanks. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.
Thank you.
So
If anybody wants to stay for a couple minutes after, I can answer some questions for a
Hey,
little
Susanna,
bit. I'm
do you
also
wanna
having a
stay
really,
for a
really good
second, and I'll
taco,
let
if
you
anybody
know
wants to see it.
a little bit about SAC.
Yes. Show it.
A good taco.
It's such a good taco, y'all.
What kind of taco?
Can we see this taco?
Hi.
Yeah,
Sorry,
it's
I got
giant.
cut off.
Well, that's small. What the heck?
It's bigger than my face, and this is my third one. Fight
It's a
me.
mini taco.
Yeah,
That's-
but you're small
Wait, I didn't
too.
see it.
Yeah.
Okay,
Put
okay.
it back up.
Hey, this is
Yeah,
my
wait.
third one, okay?
But you're small.
Okay, shut up.
Wait, everyone, real quick. Addie has something to say about SAC.
Yeah, sorry. My Wi-Fi just went. But so yeah, I'll be sending out SAC applications soon-ish. And basically what SAC is like it's a committee of like